put out that last video. Just been a lot of stuff going on, and there hasn't really been anything, hasn't been much, so there's not been much going on with the truck up until now anyway. But we're just gonna get into this. The truck, I don't know if I've mentioned this at all, but if I haven't, I've been suspecting that the truck has had failing injector O-rings for a while, because I've been getting oil in the fuel, and you can see a white haze, like whenever, like at night, whenever a car's behind you with their lights, you can see, if you're just like sitting there idling at a drive-through or something, you can see it, a white haze, or bluish haze, whatever you want to call it. And that's just because there's oil in the fuel burning. So, yeah, I mean, I've been knowing about it, but within the past like week or so, it's gotten pretty bad. It's been using, like, it's used a gallon basically of oil in the past 2 days. So it's pretty bad. So this week we got to work on getting injector O-rings. But tonight we're just going to go ahead and pull them and see what they look like. Okay, it took me a few minutes to get this get the valve cover off and everything out of the way, but we got it out of the way. So what you're going to want to do from here is unplug your UVCH harness, and then unplug your injectors and pull your glow plug out. So you just pop them off, pop this little clip off, and they unplug. Once you unplug all those, take your UVCH harness off, and then after that, you have your little oil deflectors. So you're going to want to take these off, and then there's a bolt right down here. So this is a 8mm, and this is a T30 or something, or it's an Allen head, or I don't remember. It's like a T30 Torx head or something if you wanted to use that. But this is an 8mm, and that's the injector hold down. So you'll, once you take this off, you'll take this loose, and then you'll probably have to use like a pry bar, or you can use the end of a hammer to pry up on the hold down and pop the injector loose. But that's all you got to do. So yeah. All right guys, I'm gonna show you how to pull an injector real quick. Okay, so once you get your UVCH harness off, all the oil deflectors off, then you're gonna take the hold down bolt for the injector, and I'm using a pry bar. I think they even make a tool to pull injectors. You can use a pry bar, or you can use a hammer. You have to have like a hammer that's, they make some that are for like roofing or something that's like super flat, and you can use those. But I'm using a pry bar. Do it on this side so you're not, I mean, obviously you really can't even get one on the bottom side, but you don't want to mess up the valve springs or rockers or anything. So just do it from this side and just push up against the head. It ain't gonna mess anything up. And just put it right on the bottom of the injector hold down. That's a thick piece of metal. It's not gonna break, and she'll come loose. So once, I just broke this one loose, but we gotta, okay, so she just popped out. Okay. There's gonna be a bunch of oil come out too. So let's go over here and take a look at this. Okay, so that one wasn't a problem. This one seems okay too. All these O-rings look fine. This wasn't in the last video, but can't really see it. Well, we axle dumped the truck. We'll go over that. We'll go over that in a later video. So guys, I know it's been a while since I posted a video. We posted a video like a month or two ago, and it was like saying I'm back, and I intended to be, but I intended to be back, but there's still just so much stuff going on, and it's still kind of a crazy time and whatever. Anyway, so I do have some news on the truck. I'm trying not to. I probably already flashed you what's behind me, because we do have an addition to the family here. But anyway, I'm going to make a quick synopsis of this. The 7.3 is down. It's been down for about a week now. I did record pulling the injectors out and showed you guys the injectors themselves. So I do have that video. So that'll be in this. So we'll cut the talking down, and I'll put that. I'll key that in there. So we pulled the injectors. We found a few injectors that. So the truck has 3 new injectors. It has 3 new reman injectors in it. So the whole passenger side bank has all new O-rings, including 3 new injectors. And then the driver's side, the first 3, they were like original O-rings. They were really bad. They were in pretty bad condition. And like 2 or 3 of them, the middle O-rings were like torn and chunks missing out of it. And the bottom O-rings were pretty flat. But I didn't find any like torn bottom O-rings, so I started freaking out. But then I looked at the O-rings closer and figured out that we did have torn O-rings. And the 3 injectors, so the first 3 injectors had original O-rings, and then the last injector on the driver's side, the top O-ring and the middle O-ring were stock O-rings, but the bottom O-ring was a newer Motorcraft O-ring. So at some point, that injector's bottom O-ring had went out and they had problems with it. Previous owner did, and they pulled that injector and literally only changed the bottom O-ring, which doesn't make sense whatsoever, but that's what they did. Anyway, so on the first 3 injectors, those O-rings were messed up, and then at the bottom of the nozzle, like right before the actual nozzle tip comes out of the injector, that metal casing, you could see a burnt-in oil line on all 3 injectors where oil had been leaking down, and because of the heat, it had burned a oil mark where it was pulling up. So all 3 of those cylinders had been leaking, or those injectors had been leaking into the cylinder itself. So that was for sure the problem, because at first I was thinking like, oh man, could be injector cups, or even worse, a cracked head. But it was those 3 injectors. So this truck could potentially be down for another week or longer. So that's the news with the truck. Oh, well, almost showed you, but it's just kind of sitting here, and collecting dust. So anyway, that's what's going on with the truck. We got the injectors inside. We'll get the new O-rings, throw the new O-rings on, and then clean the nozzles up, because there's a little bit of carbon buildup on them, and then put the new crush washers or copper washers on the bottom and throw those in, and that should fix that. Then the truck will be back up and running. So other than that, there hasn't been much going on, besides we got a new car. So I used to have my Honda. I don't think I ever really made any videos with the Honda. I'm pretty sure I didn't. But the Honda, I had a lowered 2000 Honda Accord, 2001 or 2001 Honda Accord. It was a 6th gen Honda Accord, 4-door, beautiful car. I'll add a picture of it. It was a gold color, fully loaded, sunroof, leather seats, everything. Had the V6, and I got it. And it had a little bit of a transmission problem, which was pretty common with those cars, but it wasn't like I still drove it every day. But we put that car on full body coilovers, lowered it about 4.5-5 inches. It was basically slammed to the ground. Had some Koenig, what was it, like 16x7s on it, or 16x8s, Koenig 16x8 wheels, I think. low pros. It was beautiful. It was a really beautiful car. And then we had a full exhaust on it and everything like that. And that's the car I traded to get the truck. So I'll add some pictures of that. But ever since I got rid of that, I've been wanting another lowered car. So like whenever I don't want to drive the truck and I want to have something that's better on gas or whatever else, I would just want to get another lower car at some point. Well, since the truck broke down, my brother, he had a 2007 Ford Fusion, and it had he got it like 90,000 miles, and it's currently got like 105 or something. So it's pretty low mileage. He put a good little bit of money into it. It's lowered on full body coilovers, really nice coilovers too. It's got 17 by 10s or something on it. Low pro tires, brand new low pro tires. And then a full stereo. Besides subs, it's got all brand new door speakers. It's got I'll just show you because the car is here. My mom and my brother actually went and got him a new car, and they gave me his Fusion. And I've liked this car a lot ever since I've seen it. It's a lowered 4-door. Everything I'd want to do to it, it's done to it already basically, besides a few things here and there. It's running driving, but a wheel bearing's out on it, so we have a new wheel bearing coming in, actually a whole new hub assembly with the wheel bearing already pressed in. So once that gets here, we'll be able to change it out and actually drive the car. You could drive it now, but that wheel bearing is out and I just don't want to risk it. But the car is now mine. So we have a new car in the family, so I'll go ahead and show you guys. Okay, so we're back. So this is it. It's got nice headlights on it. We have fog lights. Those are all LED. I just got done detailing the engine bay up. It was already pretty clean, but it's a lot cleaner now. I do need to change I want to get a different cold air intake, because right now it's basically a hot air intake, but it does have a lot of cold air that's going into it. But this is the engine bay. It's definitely way cleaner now that I just detailed it with a brush and everything, but it was already pretty clean. But yeah, the car's pretty clean. It's got low miles. Just so you guys can see it, but it's actually pretty clean on the outside. Tinted windows. Yeah, I mean, and I love the wheels on it. They're super nice. I'll get a daytime shot of it. I cleaned the inside of it last night. This is the inside, and he painted the carpets. It did look good, but it's just worn off by now. But yeah, it's got a touchscreen head unit, and it's got all new door speakers. He took the muffler off of this car. We're gonna weld it back on. So it's a little loud right now. Okay, got the keys. It's got a few dash lights. Let's see, 108,000 miles, so she's still pretty low. Check engine light, I'm not sure exactly. I think he said it like a map sensor or something. I don't remember. But it's pretty clean on the inside. I cleaned it up last night. But yeah, it's got a Boss double din. It's pretty expensive. It's got Apple CarPlay and everything. And the sound system is amazing in this. But I'm gonna turn this off. I don't want to wake my daughter up. But it's a pretty clean car. So we'll turn this off. Let me turn the lights on for you. So you got a projector, and then you also have a light strip, and then you have your ambers down here, but these are projectors. And then you have projector LED or fog lights too. And then so I think they're just like a clear version of the stock headlights. just with LEDs. Well, one of them has an LED and the other one doesn't. So I'll have to get an LED for this, but they're all brand new and they look great. And this car's got a great stance to it. But yeah, it's pretty clean. Especially for a free car that's already lowered on expensive coilovers and nice wheels. I mean, it's pretty nice. I'd have to turn the key on to get the fog lights to come on, but they're just projector fog lights, so I'm sure you guys know what those look like. All right, what's up, boys? Don't mind my dirty house, but anyway, so we got my injector O-rings in today, and we have done all of them but this very last one, okay? Because I'm going to show you guys how to do injector O-rings. Now, there's videos on YouTube showing you how to do injector O-rings, but you know what? Let's go ahead and show you guys. So yeah, we've done 7 injectors. It's pretty straightforward. You just make sure that you either watch a video or just know what you're doing, because if you mess this up, then you're gonna be back in there doing the job again. There's no sense in doing that. Just do it right the first time. So listen, guys, I cannot stress this enough, but do not use anything else besides Motorcraft O-rings, Motorcraft injector cups, Motorcraft everything for injectors besides aftermarket injectors. Obviously, you can get some type of aftermarket injector. There's big names out there. We all know them. So anyway, but for injector O-rings and injector cups, do not use anything that's cheap on Amazon unless it is Motorcraft. Even Dorman has problems. There's other companies that are well known. Those have problems. Only use Motorcraft O-rings. If you don't, you might get lucky and they might work out, but most of the time you're going to be back doing the job within a year. So if you use Motorcraft O-rings, you should be good. So in preparation, you need some picks, right? Some different angled picks. And you're going to need one pick to have a blunt. So let me see if I can try to focus in on this. Well, I can't. One of these picks that are angled, you're going to want it to blunt it out. So put it on a grinder or something, but make sure it's not sharp. And that's going to be for something I'm going to show you here in just a minute. Other than that, you just need some picks. You're going to need a socket that fits around the tip of the injector. That way you can put on the new crush washers and a little rubber mallet or a hammer, whatever the hell you want to use, doesn't really matter. But yeah, other than that, you're going to need whatever oil you're going to use for the truck. So I got some T4 15W40. That's what I'm going to do the oil change with the truck, and those are to lube up the O-rings and the bypass washer, whatever the hell you want to call it, the metal guy that sits on the top. But anyway, so yeah, so you have your injector right here. What you're going to want to do first is take off this crush washer, okay? And it's going to be a pain in the ass to get it off. So grab your pick. You're going to want to put it right here and just get it loose. And once you break the suction, you should be able to take it off with your fingers. But yeah, you're going to have to get this washer off. So then you're just going to get this loose and up and out. You have a naked injector. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this off real quick with a rag, and then I'm going to take a wire brush and I'm going to clean this nozzle off. Get all the carbon buildup off of it and just clean it up. That'll help it spray, I really think so. I think that's I think it'll help it spray, but anyway, whatever, it'll just clean it up anyway if it doesn't help it spray. So just get all this carbon buildup off of it, clean it up real nice, and you just take it and just whatever. And then once we get done cleaning the injector up, then we will come back and yeah, I'll show you how to actually put the new O-rings on. So we'll be right back after I clean this carbon up. Okay, so we've got a clean injector. Nozzle's cleaned. Okay, so I've got these last set of injector O-rings set out just exactly how they go on the injector itself. So imagine this is the top of the injector and this is the bottom where the nozzle is. So what you put on first is not this right here. You want to put on this crush washer right here, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's a crush washer, but anyway, you put this on first, and I'm about to show you how you put that on. But after you get your crush washer on, then you're going to put on your relief ring, then you're going to put on your square O-ring, and then your blue O-ring goes on, and those all go on in the same slot. So just imagine those together, just like so. And then this pink one, and this is a weirdly shaped pink one, that goes in the middle, and then this orange one is your bottom O-ring, and that goes on the bottom, obviously. But yeah, the top is the only one that has multiple O-rings. So it has the metal, square O-ring, regular O-ring. Then you have the middle that has the pink one, bottom one that has the orange, then the crush washer goes at the bottom. So I'm going to show you how. I can't really zoom in, but see this concave? The concave goes to the bottom, so it goes towards the injector. The other side that doesn't have a concave is towards the out. So just remember, the concave goes towards the injector. You're going to put it on there just like so. It's handy. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your socket and you're going to tap it down until it seats all the way right here. Okay, so you're going to tap it all the way down until it seats right here. Don't tap it very hard, it's not going to need much, but tap it until it's sitting flush on the seat of this socket, just like so. Make sure it's even, and it pops right on. Give it a few love taps after. As you have the only two O-rings that we're worried about now is the bottom O-ring and this navy blue O-ring that we put on last on the very top, because those are the only round O-rings, and those will turn and wrap around themselves, and they won't be even because they'll they'll wrap around themselves, and you'll get them bunched up whenever you put them on. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your pick that you blunted out. That's the reason we blunted it out, made sure that it wasn't sharp, is so you can get your pick under there, and you're going to put your pick on under that O-ring, and you're going to turn the injector with the pick under the O-ring, and that's going to untwist that O-ring to make sure it's nice and seated. You only have to do it with this last one on the top and then the orange one, because those are the only two that are real normal O-rings. This pink one you can't roll because it's so weird shaped. And then the square one down at the bottom, you can't roll it either because it's obviously a square. So put it under, try not to be super rough with it, and once you get it under like that, you're just gonna twist the injector itself to make sure that O-ring isn't bunched up and twisted. You do it for navy blue one, which is the bottom one if you have the injector upright. So just do the same thing, just turn it. And guys, really is just getting the injectors out and getting the O-rings to your house. But after that, you should have a full set of injectors with all new O-rings. They're oiled up, they're lubed up, they're untwisted, they're seated properly, and that's what they should look like right there. And those are true Motorcraft O-rings. So if your O-rings don't look like this, they're not Motorcraft, unless they've just updated them and I don't know. Okay, boys, we're back with the truck. So I'm gonna catch you guys up real quick. We have all the injectors in. Last night I did the driver's side, and I got everything buttoned up, put the injectors back in, oil deflectors, tighten the injectors down, then we put the valve cover gaskets back on, valve cover, and then intake bracket. So tonight we were just left at the passenger side. So we've got all the injectors in on this side, so we just have to tighten them down, put the oil deflectors on, and then put the valve cover harnesses on, and then we can button this side up, and the other side it's completely wrapped up. Got this awesome new light for my birthday too, which is awesome. But anyway, so yeah, we got all those done. I sucked these cylinders out. And just to show you what I used real quick, you don't really need anything fancy, but what I used is a sucker for my baby that we had laying around whenever she was little. We had to suck her nose out. As long as you get most of it out, you shouldn't have to worry about anything bad happening on startup. And I got most of it out, so I'm not worried about it. You can do it other ways, like you can use other suction tools, or you can put the injectors in and then pull the glow plugs out and spin the engine over, and it'll clear it out. It'll make a really big mess, but you can do it that way. I didn't want to do it that way because I didn't want to potentially break an injector or break a glow plug off and then have a whole new set of problems. So I just opted to suck what I could out and make it as safe as I possibly could, and hopefully nothing happens. Obviously there's still going to be some stuff in the cylinder, but it shouldn't be anywhere near enough to hurt anything or bend a rod or hydrolock it or anything like that. And unfortunately, if we do, then we do, but I would be very surprised if we did, and I tried the best I could to get it out. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but I think we got most of it out. I think we made it safe, at least, to start it off like this. So okay guys, so we're back. I'm at home. I got off work, so we came back home. I got some more oil on the way home, and we took the oil filter back off and filled that up. We put a quart of oil in the filter because you don't want to dry fire an oil filter. You can, but it really helps a lot if you go ahead and pre-fill it. So I put a quart of oil in my filter, and then I dumped another quart into the engine, and the level is sitting perfect. So I expect, for if everything goes right and the truck starts and everything, I expect that we'll probably lose about a half a quart to a quart maybe, filling the heads back up and whatever else, but oil should be okay. Oil pressure, we've got good oil pressure now. So I guess at this point we're really just waiting for oil to fill back into the heads and fuel to fill back into the heads, because there's no white smoke coming out. There's no white smoke coming out or anything, so that means that the injectors aren't firing yet. We've had the axle dump on this truck for a couple months now, and I love the sound.
Like, it sounds amazing. The axle dump on this truck, it sounds awesome because it just hits the ground and it sounds amazing. But man, do I miss seeing, you know, an exhaust coming out the side of this truck. So we're gonna make a quick switch and switch off the axle dump. The axle dump coming out the side. So yeah, I'm gonna take this tip off and then we're gonna put this piece back on and put the clamp back on and get this coming out the side again, and then we'll do a little update videos. So I'll be right back. We got the side exhaust exit done. We switched it back. I'm sure I'll keep it like that for a couple of months, and then I'll probably switch it back to the axle dump, just because the axle dump sounds so good. Like, the axle dump on this truck, it sounds amazing. But yeah, I had a video that's going to be in this that I never posted, and it was us doing the injector O-rings on the 7.3. They finally just went out and the truck was consuming oil like super quick, and it was really bad. And that's been, you know, a couple months ago that all that happened. I just never, like, I got the video edited and everything. I just never posted it. I don't know why. There's just been a lot of stuff going on, and I just didn't post it. And I apologize for that, but just know that the clips that you'll see from the O-ring job, that's pretty old. It's a couple months old. That probably happened in like August. I don't really know when. August, or yeah, it was August at least. But yeah, so the truck has brand new injector O-rings. We cleaned up all the injector nozzles. I mean, the truck does have new injectors in it, we found out. And yeah, so that's the whole thing. But the injectors, they have all new O-rings, Motorcraft O-rings. We cleaned up we cleaned up the nozzles. We did it right. And the truck is like, literally, it doesn't use any oil anymore. So those O-rings were like that was a problem, like, since I got the truck, because it doesn't use oil anymore. So and I guess cleaning up the nozzles and helping the spray pattern, I don't know what, but it helped the truck run. Like, the truck just runs so much better. But yeah, so I'm gonna edit this little piece into the injector O-ring job, and then I don't really know what the next video is gonna be with the truck, because we just have so much stuff going on. And I'm really kind of turning my focus onto my bike, my dirt bike, the 450R, because it needs a lot of attention. We have the last race coming up this weekend. Actually, it is Wednesday right now. And we have our last race of the series this weekend. But guess what? My clutch cable broke. So I ordered a new clutch cable a couple days ago, but it's not going to be here in time. It doesn't look like. So I'm trying to figure out some other options. So hopefully we can get that fixed. But this winter, I'm really hoping to get that 450, the top end rebuilt. New plastics, new graphics, new bolt kit, everything, and make that bike just really get a new spring for the back. Like, it's going to be awesome for next series. But yeah, honestly, the truck, since I fixed the injector O-rings, the truck has just really there's been nothing wrong with it. The only thing that I really needed to turn my attention to is just that one outer tie rod that's busted out. But the truck, it's just running great. It's running really good. It's not using oil anymore, and it runs great. So the O-rings were just a job that needed done, and I'm glad I got them done. So yeah, the truck right now, it's just like there's nothing really like that's pressing that needs to be done. Both the vehicles right now, they're running great. The Fusion needs a new catalytic converter, so I've got to figure out a new exhaust system for it. But other than that, the Fusion's fine. The truck is also, it's just totally fine. There's nothing really wrong with it. So I'm just kind of enjoying right now driving the vehicles and not have to worrying about working on them. The Fusion does need a couple of things, though, that we need to really get our attention turned to. But yeah, you know, we have a winter coming, so over this winter we're gonna get all that stuff done. We're gonna get the bike done, we're gonna get the Fusion done, and the truck, you know, if we can get some cool stuff for it, we'll do it. But if not, then the truck is just gonna really just get us through the winter. And you know, once it snows and ices and all that stuff, the truck is gonna be the hoss for the snow and stuff, because it's doing great. Honestly, it's really doing great. I was doing some boosted launches. I got a couple of clips from the other night. Me and my daughter were doing some boosted launches in the truck, and we were like, you know, dude, she just broke loose instantly. You ready? All right, we're gonna boost her up to 2 pounds again. I was setting there brake, you know, brake boosting it a little bit, and I was getting it up to like 2, 3, 4 pounds. And the truck, you know, as soon as I left the brake, the truck would just instantly break loose on concrete. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this. I'm sorry for being so, you know, dead lately, but there's just been so much going on in my life. And so I'm gonna upload this video finally with some, so the injector O-ring job, that just know that that was really, that's old footage. That's 2-3 months old footage. It's like 2 months, I think, but it's like 2 months old footage. And yeah, so we've been around the truck ever since, and it's got a fresh oil change, fresh fuel filter after all the O-rings and stuff, and it's doing awesome. But yeah, guys, so we'll see you in the next one. And anyway, guys, we will see you later. Deuces.